Joyful everything, beautiful beings. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us. Joy for all things. We will be getting started in just one moment. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Oh, hi. I see myself now. Camera. But I don't see myself yet. Okay. It says I'm added to the live stream, but I don't see me. Do you see me? Let's check the internet and see. Yeah, let's just check the internet. Um, I don't know. Oh, so I'm there, but I can't see it. So I don't know what's going on. But I guess if y'all can see me, then that is what matters. All right. So, joy for everything, beautiful beings. Welcome to From Pieces to Masterpiece, Part 2. Yeah, from pieces to masterpiece, because that's what this is about. And this is just a quick little workshop, nothing fancy, but it's gonna be a real cool time. So allow me to present. So I'm gonna share my screen with y'all real quick because I just want to play a little video for you. Um, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Those are coming in. Um, yeah, so yeah, bear with me. Y'all know we learning to be my best, most magical self on the real life budget. So I just want to play this little video for y'all real quick. Um,
I'm a teacher just like you. I teach sixth grade science.
yeah, that was loud.
And if you're anything like me, you've wasted your plan time trying to find a video for one of your lessons for your students. I would always.
So
I think we all need a pep talk.
here we go. I don't know why y'all can't see my screen, but just listen to this young man.
The world needs to stop being boring. Yeah, you. Boring is easy. Everybody can be boring, but you're gooder than that. Life is not a game, people. Life isn't a cereal either. Well, it is a cereal. And if life is a game, are we on the same team? I mean, really, right? I'm on your team, be on my team. This is life, people. You got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. A poem. Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. It hurt, man! Really bad. Rocks, thorns, and glass. My parts broke. Wah! Not cool, Robert Frost. But what if there really were two paths? I want to be the one that leads to awesome. It's like that dude Journey said, don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.
Then you should get a better dream. I think that's how it goes. Get a better dream and keep going. Keep going, keep going, and keep going.
Keep going.
Well, Michael Jordan
and
had
keep
quit.
going.
Well, he did quit. So he retired. Yeah, yes, he retired. But before that, in high school, what if he quit when he didn't make the team? He would have never made Space Jam. And I love Space Jam.
And we love Space Jam.
What would be your Space Jam?
What would be
will
your
you
Space
create will
Jam?
make the world awesome?
What
Nothing
will you
that you
create
sit
that
there.
will make the world
That's why I'm
awesome?
talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time.
This
It's
is your
our
time. This is
we
my
can make
time.
every day better for each other.
This is
So if we're
our
on the
time.
same team, let's start acting like it. We got work to do.
We got
Cry
work to
about
do.
it? Oh, we can dance.
You
about
gonna cry about it, or you gonna
it.
dance
You were
about
made to be awesome.
it? You were made to be
Let's
awesome.
get out there.
Let's get out there.
I don't know everything. I'm just a kid.
I mean, we don't know everything. We're just adults.
Liberate me to give the world a reason to dance. So get to it.
Yeah, give the world a reason to dance. Give yourself a reason to dance.
You just been pep talk.
You just
Create
been
something
pep
that will
talk.
make the world awesome.
Create something that will make the world awesome. I wish y'all could see that video. I'm not sure if y'all can see that video. But yeah. He said, are we on the same team? Are we on the same team? Are we playing on the same team? That's first what we have to establish, because I realize we have to decide if we're playing on the same team. We got to decide if we're playing on the same team. Like if we, let's say football, because I've been talking about hiking the ball, but are we playing on the same team? Like you get to decide if you're going to create something awesome out of all those pieces, out of that thing that happened, out of who didn't do it, out of that feeling that you feel, because it's valuable because you feel it. And so if you feel it, it's a real thing. So do not want to take that away from you, right? But I would like for us to look at this thing that you feel, this feeling that you feel, or this thing that happened. Like I would like for us to evaluate it, to take a look at it, to see what more can we do with it than you just feeling it and it just doing whatever that is doing to you. That might have you feeling like you in a bunch of pieces. And I would like to to apologize if you did give your all, if you did show up for it and it turned out to disappoint you. But I would like you to know on today, on tonight, that in that disappointment can be a masterpiece. That from those pieces can be something beautiful to behold. And only you get to decide if you're going to make that. You get to decide if that even is going to be a thing, right? The Mona Lisa is something beautiful. And so is a Bentley, so is a Tesla. But guess what? They can make another Bentley. They're going to make another Tesla. They're going to make another Coach purse. I saw a TikTok, and guess it was a lamb skin, some kind of fancy Coach purse. And it just got me thinking, they're going to make another Coach purse. They will never be able to make another you. The world will never be able to make another you. So I don't care how many pieces that you feel like you're in. I don't care how bad somebody disappointed you. I don't care how bad it hurt. And not in a way that I don't care, but you get to decide if it turns into a masterpiece or not. You get to decide that. The same razor given to a 3-year-old, then given to a 17-year-old or a 27-year-old or then a 47-year-old, right? It's the same razor. So the element of life doesn't change. If life is the razor, and then you got a 3-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 27-year-old, and a 47-year-old, who might be able to use now this razor so that it doesn't cut itself? And we would like to say the 47 or the 57-year-old, but it all comes with the knowledge of the element that happens throughout life. It all comes with you allowing yourself to not just feel that thing, but embrace it. So don't just ride on your surface level of emotions. Like, don't just go get on the amusement part of your emotions and allow your emotions to take you all around on this ride like Shikra at Busch Gardens. And you're just on there screaming and doing all these things. You're on there reacting. Don't let your emotions just have you reacting. Like, you want to allow yourself to feel the emotions, to process the emotion, so you can really find out, what is this thing here to tell me? Like, what is this thing here to show me? And that is how the pieces then turn into a masterpiece. But if you are unwilling to look at that thing, to examine it, and not just feel the pain, then you are likely going to always just feel broken. And your brokenness won't have a purpose at the end of it. Your brokenness, it will be others that will be able to see the beauty of the masterpiece of your life, and you will walk around feeling unfulfilled. You'll walk around feeling not good enough. And yet you are this wonderful masterpiece, and you are the one who are getting to enjoy the benefits of the masterpiece that you are. I know, think about it. And then we're gonna read something out the book. And I told y'all we wasn't gonna be here that long. But yeah, so think about it. So I said this scenario the last time, and I'm really gonna stick with it. I'm gonna do a whole like art thing around it. Because did you know in the word heart is art? I know it's a whole cool thing. But so there's gonna come a time in your life to where you get to allow yourself to show up for you, right? Like, and at some point of this life, wouldn't you want it that way? Because a lot of us, I know, listen, I've been there, I've done it. A lot of us were waiting for other people. A lot of us were kind of slowing down, waiting on other people to catch up. Or because we did these things for other people, we were looking for our help to come from them. But maybe the help isn't going to come from them. Maybe the help has to come from you. Maybe you get to cheer yourself on. Maybe you get to allow yourself the opportunity to get to know you. I've come to find that this world teaches us so many things, and a lot of it has to do with attracting something on the outside of us, right? Everything, degrees, husbands and wives and cars, and all of these things are things that are outside of who you are. And I don't mean just our flesh, because we'll get caught up on just our flesh, but who you are as a spiritual being, who you are as the inward parts of you. And that's the part that cannot be replaced. Like, people have lost limbs and they can get another one put on. But once your soul has decided to leave this flesh, it doesn't come back. So your soul being inside of this flesh is the unique gift that the world will never, ever, ever make again. Again, they're going to make a new Tesla. They're going to make a new car. They're going to make a new Gucci. They're going to make a new Louis. But they will never, and I mean never, be able to make another you. Your fingerprint is unique out of all that is in the world. That alone says that you're not broken. That alone says that you're not broken to the degree that you might feel that you're broken, to where that you are no longer good enough. Because that's not true. You did not give your all to that person. And if you did, then rightfully so. And kudos to you for deciding to love in the fashion that you gave a part of you. But in giving that part, you still have parts to give. You still have things about you to be admired. You still have things about you to be discovered. And I know that I know this, because this is what I found in finding Sierra. This is what I discovered in allowing myself the opportunity to forget who I thought that I was. it allowed myself the opportunity to even abort my own stinky thinking. Listen, I told somebody the other day because they was trying to tell me about the devil. And I was like, the devil didn't need to do anything. Literally, the devil was able to take time off when it came to Sierra because I was doing his job. He didn't need to do anything. He pretty much like laughed at me. And when it came to whatever he was supposed to be doing in my life, if that's the case, right? He didn't have to literally, he could take a vacation. Why? Because Sierra was doing the self sabotage. Sierra was doing the self limitation. Sierra was doing the self doubting. Sierra was not feeling good enough. Sierra knew how to give of herself to other people and not give of herself to herself. What do you mean by that? I realized that I'm a good, I give good advice. I know how to be a bridge over troubled water. I know how to be a light in dark places. I knew how to do all these things. But yet, when it came to Sierra being those things for her, for some reason, I didn't qualify. For some reason, I seemed to not be able to practice what I preach. How many of y'all preaching and practicing and you even got good lessons that you're making good money off of, but you're not taking that advice yourself? Yeah, and I realized that. Maybe it's time for me to do unto myself as I've done unto others. Maybe it's time for me to find out what this love that I have to give, that I watch transform and help other people in their life, but yet when I lay down at night, I don't feel good enough. You can't tell me that that's how it's supposed to be. You can't tell me that I can be this super woman, this super person, this superhero in someone else's life. Someone else can consider me as a superhero, and yet I lay down at night feeling defeated. I lay down at night not feeling good enough. And I realized that is because I wasn't taking the time out to get to know me. I wasn't taking the time out to see myself as the gift. And for the first time, I decided that I wanted to know what it was like to feel my love. Because I could see how my love was transforming. I could see how my love was helping other people get through these hard not life, right? I could see how what I brought to the table was making people smile. But why was I not first handedly able to vouch for that? Why would I go to bed feeling some type of way about me after I saved the whole entire world? It's because I wasn't taking the time to do unto myself as I've done unto others. I wasn't taking the time to tell myself, job well done. I wasn't taking my time to cheer myself on. When was the last time you cheered yourself on? When was the last time you really done something for you? In my Janet Jackson voice. What have you done for you lately? Da, 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 da. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Yeah. When was the last time you done something for you? And when we don't afford ourselves those little things to cheer us on, to say job well done, to see our beauty, even when we think that we're broken. Because I don't care how broken you are, no one can still be you. So even when you don't feel good enough, you are still at your best self because who else could do you? And even at that level, you are still your best you. And we are on the same team. So I love to be the one to hike you this ball. I love to be the one to help you change your perspective. And so this little 45-minute or this little workshop isn't here to tell you what to do, but to just really get you to think. To get you to think. And so I'll tell you this. So think about I guess it's like is it the night before Christmas? And so the night before Christmas, and I believe it's Scrooge and the 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 spirits of past, present, and future visits him. And Scrooge wants to change something about his life, right? He want to change something about the past, but he wants his future to remain where he's this wealthy person. And so The past, the present, and the future come and visit him at different times to pretty much show him if you change that one thing, if you took away this one piece, if that one minute thing didn't happen, then you wouldn't be who you are today. So if you feel like, oh, that thing made you better, right? Then let's really be better. But you must see that going back, trying to remove something, trying to take something away won't change your present moment. Because it's being able to see the beauty in the moment that makes even those hardest things that we feel like break our heart, that I can feel like sometimes life ain't fair. But life has a thing called principles. It has a thing called the circle of life that don't requires my permission. And so life is going to continue to life. But don't you dare keep shortchanging yourself out of the gift and the beauty that comes with life. And your feelings, contrary to it might have hurt, are truly a gift to life. It's what makes us human. Us being able to feel to the degree that we're able to feel is what makes us human. It's one of the things that makes us human. And how we can use that very thing for something, right? You can use that hard moment of adversity and use it for a color to change this masterpiece. But it starts with you. It starts with you, and you got something magical to make. You got something amazing to be. But when we allow that thing to stop us from continuing to grow, for stopping us from continuing to see the beauty that only you behold, that only you can give. Because even in the picture, if you're missing, it's missing something. So you got to absolutely know that you bring something to the table that nobody else will ever be. And maybe somebody did leave. Maybe he did leave and find another relationship. Or maybe she did leave and find another guy. That doesn't take away of the amazing thing that you are. And maybe that other person did have something that you didn't have to give, and that's okay too. But again, that doesn't take away from the amazing masterpiece that you are, that only you can be. Only you can be you. And when we feel like we're so broken and things have happened that distraught us so bad that we can't be us, we are shortchanging our human experience. You're shortchanging the main reason that you're here. And I know it's kind of confusing because we can get all these zeros in our bank account. We've birthed children, we've made children. We can add parts so separately. We can do all these cool, great things. We can gain the world. We can add all these shiny, flashy things to the outside of us. But those things don't make you whole, as you can see, because some of us have those things and we still lay down and feel in pieces at night. And then you wake up in the morning and you are unable to see the beauty in those pieces that make you the uniquely, fearfully, intentionally made, one of a kind masterpiece that you are, no matter how you feel, no matter who walked away, no matter who didn't stay. You. And so, yeah, you get to do that. And I did the podcast with Brian Hippolyte, and that was the Greater Existence podcast. And so I said that being broken was the best place that I could have been. Life has life has offered me some cool opportunities. Listen, I've I have a great support system. Life has offered me some amazing opportunities. I mean, I've been to Aruba, Hawaii. You offered yourself some great opportunities. That 10-figure deal, that being the GOAT thing, that thing that you did was wonderful. But you can do that for you. You can do that so that benefits you, and not just you being able to benefit someone else. You are your highest resource. You are your you should be your number one cheerleader, your number one fan, your number one groupie. Listen, you should be your own groupie. You deserve a groupie, and that groupie should be you. That groupie should be yourself. That groupie should be you. And then if you can't, then get you somebody like me who don't mind cheering you on, who don't mind helping you cultivate the environment until you're strong enough to pull yourself up, until you're able to see that reflection and see the beauty thereof looking back at you. Looking back at you. And so I do know, contrary to what this world is presenting us, because it's really got us thinking that life is about what you can see. But there's so many more amazing things about you that you don't even see. Your heart does a thing. You don't see what it does, but it does, and you benefit from it. Your pinky toes do a thing. I think it's your pinky toes. If you didn't have a pinky toe, you would not have balance. So we be upset about these people, places, and things that leave us, but we don't appreciate all these things that are here fighting for us. All these things that are showing up for you. Your lungs showed up for you. That thing in your intestines that stop you from killing yourself, if it got out, shows up for you. When will you show up for you? When you will allow yourself to know that even in this game called life, that sometimes it just happens. Sometimes the other team scores, per se. Sometimes you might not feel like your best was good enough. But even in feeling like your best wasn't good enough, you are absolutely good enough. Because who else can be you? Who else can do you? Nobody. Nobody. And when we allow our feelings to master us in a way that we can appreciate the moment, do you know that each moment and each second is a gift? It's free. You didn't ask for it, yet it's there. And yet we don't even know when it's going to be taken away. So do yourself a favor. Don't keep recycling old habits. Don't keep recycling outdated communication. You get to disrupt that thing. That's like changing the dial on the radio. And I know now it's so fancy, we ain't got to turn the dial no more and really listen for the radio station so we can really hear it. You know, sometimes when you're in the back in the day when you had to turn the radio dial to get on the radio station, sometimes if you could be in between two radio stations and you could hear two different stations playing at one time. But it's time to disrupt that old outdated way of doing you and allow yourself the opportunity to become a better version of you, for you first and foremost. For you, because when you do it for you, it feels better. When you do it for you, you're able to facilitate that better. When you do it for you, but when we choose to be our best selves for somebody else, which we can do, but that's usually short-lived. That usually don't give us the thing that makes our soul smile, that makes our heart happy. Like when you show up for you, like when you allow yourself to do that thing that you told yourself you couldn't do. Have you ever did something that even yourself was like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And then you allowed yourself to show yourself that you could absolutely do that thing. And not only did you do that thing, you killed that thing. You slayed that thing. You made that thing do what that thing can do. Like only you can do. And that's the ingredients. And being able to turn those pieces into a masterpiece. It is YOU. 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 And when you allow yourself to find you, not the superficial you, not the one that our heart even desires to be for somebody else, for our children, for our husband, for our jobs, for whatever. But when you allow yourself to be so you that you don't feel like you looking for someone else to validate you, that you just all right with being you. That means that you know on your good days, your bad days, your ugly days, your indifferent days, your in-between days, your upside down days, your oops upside your head days, that nothing's missing and nothing's broken when it comes to you. And again, this isn't to take away from your feelings, because when life punches, it punches. That's why Tupac described life to be a certain way. Tupac said life's a and then you die. But do we just let life be a and then we die? Or do we enjoy this life and we can die feeling fulfilled? We can give up this flesh knowing that we gave it our best shot. Give you the best shot like you gave that love that you wanted to keep. Give you your best shot like you show up for that job that you don't even want to show up for, but you show up anyways. And I know doing something new comes with what we might feel like resistance and what we can identify as something scary. But allow me to help you with that. You do 1,200 scary things a day and you don't even think about it. And yet, when the moment comes for you to do a new thing, we get so scary that we won't even show up. Do you know how many times I forfeited myself when life blew the whistle and called me to the line for me to shoot the free throw? And I looked around as if I didn't know who life was calling. And I did the work and I did the time. And yet, still, I forfeited so many opportunities. I can continue to keep worrying about that, or I can show up for this next opportunity. And I can show up for the next opportunity or the next moment or the next situation like I showed up for them. Like I showed up for them, not half stepping, boldly, unapologetically. Let's show up for ourselves the way we show up for others. For some reason, we don't do that. Can somebody help me with why we don't do that? Because I really want to know. And so when I figured out that I no longer want to just temporarily visit this amazing spot of me. So what I knew that when life got to life, and I knew that when my back was against the wall or adversity happened or whatever it is that you titled it, right? I knew that when that thing happened and I felt like I was overwhelmed, and then I felt like that I had tapped into my power, because I felt like I went with on the inside of me and I found my help. I found the greater that lives on the inside of me who can now help me fight this thing off. But then I realized is that why is it when the adversity happens that I can run to this space? Why do I have to run there? Why don't I just reside in that place? Why don't I just stay where the help is? So when the boogeyman or the bullies or lifestyle life, I'm already where my help lies. There is something so amazing on the inside of you. There is something so fantastic about you that you don't even know yet. I promise you, you don't even know all of you. And when you allow yourself to show up for opportunity, you get to show yourself what you made of. And I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to close it up. And I know, so as believers, like it's this whole thing that we're being punished sometimes when things happen because you were a sinner or you did this and you did that. So we sometimes look for life to punish us for some reason. But my spirit told me the other day that those things don't come to punish us. When adversity comes and hardship comes and that river comes to try to overtake you, to drown you, it's not there to punish you. It is there to allow you the opportunity to show yourself who you can be. It is there to show you that you can be super mom, super dad, crazy about you, and the goal, right? You can be all of those things. But a lot of us are a lot of other things, and we aren't that one thing for us. And this is why we feel hard on us about life. This is why we are unable to see the masterpiece from the pieces. Because we aren't showing up for ourselves. We aren't giving ourselves the grace, the love, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth chances. You know, I ain't doing that, nigga. No, I ain't messing with him no more. I ain't doing that. They got me messed up. And next thing you know, you doing it again. or you talking to him again, or whatever it is again. But we don't show up for ourselves like that. The moment it gets uncomfortable, the moment it gets scary, we abort the mission. We don't show up hard for us. We don't fall and get back up when it comes to that thing that we love to do. Do that thing that you love to do. Don't just be the thing that you love for other people, but do that thing that you love to do for you, because you deserve that smile on your face. There is some things about your life that is absolutely your responsibility and nobody else's. I don't care how amazing your husband is and how amazing your children is and how amazing my program is. There is gonna come a time in your existence to where that it is you and you. And I'm almost certain that it is intentionally set up that way, because you get to show yourself what you made of. You get to finally show up for you in a way that nobody else can, and in a way that who else should, honestly, because you know you better than anybody else know you. No matter how much we want other people to love us and we want to be validated by other people, only you can really do that for you. Yeah. So your amazing life that your heart desire can be a reality, but it starts with you, it ends with you, it continues with you. It's you, boo. It's you, king. It's you, queen. It's you. And if you find you, and again, not the surface level you, but if you allow yourself to find you, mind, body, spirit, your me, myself, and I, if you allow yourself to find you in all facets of who you are, watch what happens. I'm telling you, that's what I found. That I can be Sierra on my good day. I can be Sierra on my bad day. Do you know that I can cross the finish line with tears in my eyes and I still made it across the finish line? Life can feel like a race sometimes, and sometimes it's not about finishing fast. It's just about really showing up. When you decide to show up, you're already a winner. It's not about how fast you make it to the end goal, but it's your desire to show up for you. And you are willing to do that by any means necessary. All bets are on you. It's your turn. The ball is in your court. What do you do now? What do you do now? Don't keep using the past thing as your crutch and as your excuse to why you can't show up for you, and not can't to why you won't show up for you. Don't forfeit. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. I tell you these things and I have these moments so you don't be like me. So you will learn from my mistakes and you won't just live, but you will absolutely learn. And this is why we can learn from other people. We don't always got to keep falling in the same hole that the next person did. We can watch and learn and not have to feel like we got to bust our head too. Why everybody got to bust their head on the same thing and you can't learn from your neighbor? This is how they say we you overcome by your testimony, but you also help someone now know that that mountain ain't big as I thought by them seeing you show up for you. And then this is how you can be the out loud example for our little humans, because they're watching us. And right now, all they see is that we only care about dressing our flesh up. We only care about our outward appearance, and we don't care about the power that lives on the inside of us. We care about dressing our outside up, but we're not watering the inside of us. From pieces to masterpiece, with 3 ingredients, and that's YOU. It's an easy remedy to help you to become a better version of you. And the thing is that you get to decide. That's what it is. I told y'all on this podcast that I told Brian Hippolyte that being in the broken pieces was the best thing that I could do, was the best opportunity that life had given me. The best opportunity. Why? Because I got to decide how I put myself back together again. You get to decide how you put yourself back together again. And then the thing about this is that you can change it if you don't like it at any second of the day. You don't got to stay that way if it's not helping you, if it's not benefiting you, if it's not getting you to the destination that you want to be, then you get to change that. Some of us are even being loyal to outdated things that we signed up for. You can change that every second of the day. You can rewrite the story. You can start a new story. You can change your narrative. And only you can do that. Because you know the saying, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. I can't do it all for you. There comes a time where you absolutely got to show up for you because it's you believing. Don't stop believing. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop being you because something happened, because the thing happened, or because you felt the gift of your feelings and your emotions. Those are tools to help us facilitate through life. If you didn't feel the pain, then you'll constantly go through life being burnt. And once that thing burnt you one time, it can't burn you again unless you put yourself in a place that allows it to do it again. And we often do that by bringing the old into our new. Each second is actually a new day. That's how I feel. That's how I'm living life right now. Each second is a new day, not when I lay down and I wake up, because the next second isn't promised to me. I don't know about you. Maybe you got something that I don't got. Maybe your next second is promised, and maybe you know that you're going to be here for the next 15 years. I'm telling y'all some real stuff. So, dad, the doctor said due to the cancer that dad had 6 months to a year to live. Yeah. And mom's crying, and I'm telling her not to cry while I'm trying to hold back my tears. But the reality kicked in, right? Because it's a principle in this thing that we call life, in this death. Because death is as much a part of life as life is. It's a part of it. And so it hit me, right? How we here sad because the doctors say, although, they're not God, so it's not all about what the doctor's saying, but just hear me out. So we're here sad because the doctor said dad has 6 months to a year to live due to the cancer. And yeah, when we hear that, me and mom got sad. And so, but I'm on this real reality, real life, realist thing. And so it hit me, dad could still outlive me and mom. Right? Because the next second ain't mine. The next second ain't promised. The next minute. So dad could still be burying me and mom. So how we sitting here being sad because the doctor says dad has 6 months to a year to live? As if we know that we gonna outlive dad. We don't know that we gonna outlive our children. But you can totally outlive that pain. You can totally outlive that situation that you felt like broke you, that you felt like got you. Y'all already know, come on. You, listen, it's you. You get to decide. Use that, use it. It's called manure. They use manure every day to make stuff grow. Every day to make stuff grow. You can use that thing to make you grow. What else can you use it for? What else can you use it for? You are a creator. You were made by a creator. You are a creator. You see how you create. Be deliberate about the life that you want. And don't keep copying and pasting your fears and your insecurities that get in the way. You tank the situation before the opportunity has even come. We'll already say how it's not going to work out, and we ain't even tried. We'll already speak our own demise into existence before we even gave ourselves the opportunity to show up. We'll already count ourselves out before destiny could absolutely count you in. Destiny ain't even said your full name and it's ready to call your name. You know how your mama or your grandma call you by your full name? Destiny is ready to call your name. Destiny is calling your name and saying, hey, hey, you. But you so busy focused on what didn't happen and who didn't show up for you that you aren't appreciating the now moment and how right now you can change your reality right now. How right now you can use those pieces to create a masterpiece and you can absolutely decide to be a better you. It just starts with your thought. It starts with your thought and then you put forth the action. And then you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you do it afraid and you do it when you're not ready and you do it and you keep doing it and you put that on repeat. And then after a while, you don't need a story. And after a while, it's no longer about who didn't show up for you, who didn't cheer for you. And then now you can say thank you like I can say thank you to my ex-husband. And I can say thank you to all those things that at one moment that I thought that wasn't working for my good. But I now have turned that piece into a masterpiece. And I've now helped God take care of me. Because why is it just God's job to make things work together for my good? As if you don't have the power to make things work together for your good. The 3 ingredients that you need to every day, every second of the day, turn those pieces into a masterpiece. It's just simply YOU. And I know they said there's not an I in team, but I believe that there's an I in team because I believe in you. And the better you equals a better me. I say that all the time. A better you equals a better me. And I don't want the surface level you. I don't want the fearful you. I want the one that's going to show up for you like you showed up for everybody else. I want to see you being willing to show up for yourself like you willing to show up for me. Thank you for being a friend to me, but I want to see you be a friend of yourself. I now no longer want nothing from nobody that they aren't giving themselves. Because when I realize when you're able to love you, then you're able to love me and your love won't feel like damage. And when we don't have an understanding of ourselves, we don't know how to facilitate, and then we only facilitate from our surface level emotions. So now we're just reacting, we're not processing. And that's it. So that's the 3 ingredients. And the 3 ingredients is YOU. And nobody else can do YOU better than YOU. Thank you for tuning in from Pieces to Masterpiece Part 2. I think we're back on next Thursday. And we just gonna do this again and and it's gonna come out maybe a different way. But the ingredients are the same. And this is the message. It's you. It's you, king. It's you, queen. It's you. It's you. You are the master key to unlocking anything that you desire. You are. And when you allow yourself to disrupt your outdated communication, so then you can tame your limited beliefs, you will be able to transform yourself from the inside out. Just like that. So that's it. Yeah, y'all be great. And thank y'all for tuning in.